Artificial biotechnology. Playing God. When humans combine biology and technology, they acquire the ability to recode existence itself. There will be human organ farms. Governments and using artificial wombs to regenerate populations, machines with biological parts. Genetically modified humans with the ability to cure others through contact, among other things. This is the world of biology and technology, and what is going on in the laboratories of biohackers that are not regulated. But what will happen to our ecosystem if humans begin to engineer life and create invasive species? And if humans were bioengineered, would we evolve into an entirely new species, becoming less human and more alien? Humanity will no longer be nature's observers, but its masters. This is the beginning of the next phase of humanity's evolution. Bioprinting is 3D or even 4D printing, but instead of plastic or metal, it employs bioinks composed of living cells. These cells are printed layer by layer and are capable of growing and interconnecting to form biological structures. With bioprinting, we do not simply create objects, we imbue them with vitality. Bioprinting is the realization of an alchemist's fantasy. Personal cosmetic testing. Bioprinted ocular corneas. Bioprinted hair follicles for hair loss. Combat wound recovery and future travel are some fundamental applications. Enhanced bioprinting will produce 3D printed coral reefs that serve as habitats for marine life, thereby aiding in the restoration of degraded ecosystems. Or small-scale robotic space stations that function as bioprinting factories, since printing with liquids is more efficient in microgravity. When it comes to the human body, bioprinted organs are produced in organ farms as a solution to the paucity of organ donors. Or a patient's own cells are used to construct organoids or miniaturized organs that are used to assess medical responses prior to actual administration. And bioprinted prosthetic appendages that are designed to fit precisely to the individual using a living tissue to enhance integration with the host's body. Experiments are conducted in the field of cybernetics, where electronics are implanted into bioprinted pieces to create cybernetic organs that are more advanced than natural ones, such as bioprinted lungs implanted with sensors and nanofilters that remove airborne toxins before they enter the bloodstream. or bionic ocular replacements with built-in magnification or infrared vision. Patients with these experimental bionic irises claim to be experiencing supernatural visions. After being blinded in an accident, a former archaeologist receives an artificial cornea transplant. With his restored vision, he begins to have visions and hallucinations, claiming to see the past and believing he has uncovered buried secrets that could rewrite history. On the opposite side of the world, regions of a country are being wiped out by an enigmatic flesh-eating disease. A group of scientists use bioprinting to create a new form of disease-resistant epidermis. Some people applaud the scientists' efforts, while others query whether these individuals with various skin types are still human. In the realm of living architecture, bioengineered materials that can self-repair, purify the air, assimilate contaminants, and even reproduce are used to construct buildings. These structures are also constructed with adhesives inspired by geckos and eco-concrete inspired by coral reefs. Some of these futuristic structures are even powered by biological batteries that use microorganisms to store and produce energy. However, there are complaints of forced obsolescence, in which companies manipulate their biomaterials to degrade after a predetermined time period, forcing consumers to purchase substitutes continuously. The interior walls of these bio-buildings' opulent apartments are adorned with works of bio-art. Using living tissue and bioprinters, artists create evolving and living works of art. Living seawalls protect these coastal cities from rising sea levels and storm surges. Genetically modified coral and mussels are used to create living seawalls that develop and self-repair, thereby safeguarding these coastal cities. There are also bioluminescent lights, plants, bacteria, and algae that are engineered to illuminate in the dark like deep-sea organisms, which are replacing electric streetlights. However, in a small town where bioluminescent lanterns illuminate the streets and purify the air, the abrupt decomposition of the bioluminescent organisms causes darkness to descend. It is the responsibility of botanists and engineers to determine what is destroying the neon bloom and restore the city's illumination. The rumor that the lights have been biohacked and reprogrammed to emit hazardous contaminants has spread. Elsewhere, a robotics company has created a robot with glowing bioluminescent skin. The company tests the robot in a museum, navigating visitors around. People wonder whether human skin is next. On their own bodies. Cyberpunks and biohackers operate clandestine to avoid government oversight. They experiment with implanting microchips in their limbs and tattooing themselves with digital pigments that exhibit their online attire. They collaborate to create biocomputers composed of biomaterials and living neural tissue. Cyberpunks modify and adjust brain chip safety features to disable them in order to have more radical and unauthorized neural experiences, and they use their own DNA as storage devices, imitating nature's ability to store vast quantities of data. Under the city's roadways, a clandestine market for new age substances exists. Biohackers engineer grapes that ferment into wine within minutes, as well as allergen-free, pest and disease-resistant, unregulated foods. Self-planishing food containers have created the most noise. These containers are comprised of living organisms that continually regenerate their contents, providing a virtually endless supply of microfoods. These biohackers also attempt to freeze each other in an attempt to reanimate their bodies. People refer to them as cryonic punk, and they have creatures whose genomes have been altered to produce bioluminescence, causing them to glow in the dark. And there are rumors that animals with DNA from multiple species have been created. The name chimera is derived from Greek mythology, where it refers to a creature with the body of a lion, the head of a goat emerging from its back, and the tail of a serpent. In the actual world, corporations are rendering obsolete older bionic prosthetic models, compelling users to upgrade, raising the issue of who controls the limbs, the people or the corporations. These bioprinted prosthetic appendages provide a sense of contact and more intuitive control by integrating with the body's nervous system. Governments use bionic appendages to construct extraordinary combatants. The military performs voluntary amputations. With the assistance of a bioexoskeleton, a young boy paralyzed learns to walk again. Every bionic prosthetic and bioexoskeleton comes with a monitoring number for registration. In laboratories under government control, scientists are experimenting with advanced artificial reproductive technology. This includes pods designed for external pregnancy and gestation, also known as ectogenesis. In a society beset by infertility, artificial wombs have become the last hope for humanity. The affluent outsource childbirth to large wound farms. Governments confronting a population decline also have their own plantations. Conspiracies circulate about a dictator who is preoccupied with his legacy and uses artificial incisions to produce a large number of progeny in order to reign forever and become an immortal dictator. Other applications of artificial reproductive technology include space colonization, the military, and the revival of endangered species. Additionally, there are ongoing experiments in the field of prolonged gestation, where a body is in biohybrid robotics. These robots are constructed from biological tissue, allowing for greater flexibility and energy. One company is developing biomimetic robots that can merge in with their surroundings and even interact with animals. According to the company, these bio-robots are used for environmental monitoring or biological research. Others fear that biohybrid robots can be used for espionage and spying, such as drones or robots that mimic a bird so well that another bird cannot tell it's a machine. These types of robots can be used to violate sovereignty by deploying invasive biohybrid animals to infiltrate and subvert the autonomy of other nations, while advanced biohybrid robots become capable of swiftly manufacturing harmful microbes and viruses. Biohybrid machines immune to radiation are humanity's greatest hope for survival following a nuclear-scaled bio-waste calamity. They gather resources, rescue survivors, and dispose of biohazardous refuse. The first biorobot becomes a restorer of extinct species, transporting DNA and recreating extinct species. These are the neo-humans, real-life X-Men, who are no longer considered human and represent an entirely new species. After winning a bio-lottery, this individual is the first to develop insect-repellent properties. He inhaled an engineered virus that delivered her components and targeted gene sequences to his epidermis cells and perspiration ducts, where disease-carrying insects are now attracted by pheromones. The vocal cords and resonating chambers of a singer are bioengineered to generate an unnatural spectrum of noises, transforming her into a living musical instrument. That responds to light, temperature, and mood by displaying animated images and artwork. People are capable of producing their own sustenance. Underwater, marine biohackers are modifying their own bodies. The modern wolverine is resistant to bone fractures due to bioengineered collagen enhancements, and he is capable of rapid regeneration with human tissues engineered from reptiles that regenerate at a rated rate. By manipulating telomeres and cell regeneration, people are bioengineering themselves to age reverse. A person claims to be capable of dividing their consciousness through the use of organic brain enhancements in order to multitask at an unprecedented level. And the first individual is able to heal others by touching them and transferring regenerative cells. Biotechnology is where the blueprint of nature meets human design. It is the codification of existence itself. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.